it's time to start marketing. Okay, so this is your first lesson in sales of the day. I know you are all very much oriented towards building, but if you don't tell everybody about the thing, nobody's going to come. And so the first thing I'd like to do is I'd like to shout out that everybody, Laura, shout out to Laura. She created the event today on LinkedIn. This is the event that you can RSVP to. This is the place that people will come to find their way into the live session. And this is where we need you guys to help get the word out. Of course, we'll send this out to our audience of about 18,500 people in the newsletter over the next couple of weeks. We'll continue to shout it out on LinkedIn, and we'll continue to try to up those RSVP numbers. I did release yesterday the demo day selection process. And so this is something that is important for you guys to understand, but at the end of the day, you should all take demo day exactly as seriously as you would have and show up to rehearsals ready to rehearse. This is going to give you the best possible artifact, and it's going to give you that deadline you need to create that shareable project, that story, that thing, that really important piece that you're going to be able to take with you. And you can choose to keep working on it or not, of course, after the course. The best projects are one that are always works in progress. So in terms of the selection process, this is how the competition is going to go. We've got to select 16 finalists based on how the semi-final rounds go. We're going to do that during what we used to call rehearsals, and it still is very much a rehearsal for those of you that are going to be on the big stage on Thursday. So what we're going to do is we're going to split you guys up so that you're not paired with your peer support leads and you're with a bunch of students, most of whom you probably don't know that well. You're going to present to them. So we're going to eliminate kind of, I know you really well, I want to vote for you, that kind of thing. You will then vote for your favorite, highest quality presentation that you saw in your breakout room. So we'll basically have 15-ish minute slots. We'll do 7 presentations per slot. This will be on rehearsal day, and you guys will be able to vote on your favorite out of the 7. The top voted presentations automatically in. If there are ties, what we're going to do is we're going to come back to the main room. We're going to give all the ties 90 seconds to do quick pitches. Now, pitching, of course, is a very different game than building, as is demo day. So I want you guys to start getting into this mindset that this is a really important piece. You can't just build incredible things and expect people to come and be like, wow, how did you do that incredible thing? You have to communicate it. Whether you're in a startup, you're in a large enterprise, you're going to be working with people that don't understand what you do. You have to communicate it. The quicker you can communicate it, the quicker you can give that elevator pitch, the better off you're going to be, the more success you're going to have. So you'll get 1 vote based on what you saw in your room, and then we'll tie break with any 90-second pitches based on what we all see in the 90-second pitches. We will all vote. The voting will be done live in real time on Zoom. So as soon as we see the results, you also will see the results. This will be as fair and democratic as possible, and it will hopefully be a lot of fun for everybody as well. That's kind of the least interesting piece, though, about demo day. We can talk a lot about things that are important to start talking about now. Certification is probably the second least interesting thing. So I just want to be clear about this. Just if you do not get selected as a finalist, you will still be able to get certified. So we're going to change the policy here on the wording. Rather than presenting live, you'll have to complete a demo day presentation. And what that means, what that looks like, as we've articulated in our new document is that you've got to submit a final demo day video that you record and post-process and that you deem ready and worthy of YouTube. We do have a submission form, and you can check it out starting now. The thing about this submission form is this is where we're going to collect the data that we're going to use to both market the demo day event and also to market your specific demo day presentation, selected for finalist or not selected for finalist. We are very interested in hosting your presentations, in showing the world your presentations, in highlighting one of them every week for the next however many weeks we can. We want to make sure you guys get that shine and we see that you're leaving that footprint, having come to AI Makerspace and built, shipped, and shared your way into a really, really cool project. So this form is not that onerous. And just to be super clear about what we want from this is we want you guys to, let me pull this up here. We want you guys to submit very clearly here, a demo day GitHub repo. This needs to be shareable. If it is not publicly shareable, we will not be able to host your demo day project on our YouTube. If you have a specific issue where you're like, this is super private, I'm working on something that somebody really, really wants to have in stealth, I've signed NDAs, I can't do this, it's work related, please reach out to our grading team. We're happy to work with you on that. However, that kind of sucks. That kind of sucks if that has to be the way that you go. We've had people go that way. It's perfectly fine. We can support it. But really, it would be best if you could get that public artifact. Public repo, public slide deck, email, name, title. We want a succinct one-sentence description, the kind of thing I can read during an introduction. We want some additional information, the kind of thing we can provide in a YouTube description for people interested in learning more. And we want that shareable link. We also want you to let us know where we can tag you for when we do post about it, even if it's many weeks from now, okay? All right, I don't see any questions coming in, so I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so that's the second least interesting thing. What does success look like? Well, the first thing is that for rehearsal, for the semifinal round, and for demo day, we're going to be doing tech checks. We're going to be doing this an hour in advance. Now, you guys probably remember from the product manager presentations that they were kind of a disaster, right? And they probably because they weren't sure that their mic was on, that their screen was shared, that they basically didn't do any of the work you should do before you go live. We're going to make sure that we do that work with you guys together. And we're going to spend a solid hour on it. Jake Ops and I are going to be in the room, making sure you have your setup dialed. Okay, so we're going to ask that you come in the room and you at least, especially, yeah, you come in the room and you do the check. You stay in the room. You don't have to like engage with everybody, but just stay in the Zoom room for us. This really helps us out. If we need to create breakout rooms, we know where to send you. And so this is something that we're going to do both days. On Tuesday, the 26th, this is your dress rehearsal. This is your semifinal. Historically, we called this the dress rehearsal. Historically, we said this is the day that you must do code freeze. And just like every rehearsal of every great show, you got to wear exactly the same outfit to the rehearsal that you're going to wear to the show, okay? This is standard practice from Hamilton musicals to TED Talks. This is the way it's done, okay? And I know a lot of you don't think about stuff like this, but trust me, we do. We obsess about this kind of thing. And that's one of the things, one of the benefits you get from coming to an AI Makerspace course. All right. Of course, code freezing that day is no longer a good idea because the competition is heated up. You actually need to take it to the next level. You need your full demo ready to rock and roll that day. That's what you need. And in order to make sure that you're ready to go, I have a couple things that I want to tell you. So first off, your audio, your video, and your lighting have got to be on point. You've got to have your screen set up on point. You've got to have your demo on point. You've got to have your slides on point. You've got to have your transitions on point. That's a lot of stuff. So let's go into some more detail. Okay, so first off, the audio, video, and lighting really matters. So for instance, like if your lighting is just okay, then it's just okay, right? But if it's good, then it's like, oh, wow, I'm paying attention. That's good, right? Or let's say if your audio, and this is like a really big thing. So if you say you switch to like webcam audio, it just becomes horribly awful. Your MacBook Pro audio is actually quite good, but if you have a good microphone, you should use your good microphone. Audio is the single most important thing. If you do not get it right, no one will listen to your stupid demo. So if you want to go make sure you have decent audio, please do that like starting this week. That's a really important factor. And then of course, you know, if you're going like this and you're kind of here, it's not a good look, right? If you're going like this and you're kind of here, it's not a good look. What you want is you want to be kind of centered and square in the screen. Now, look at Mike Dean. He's always beautifully centered and square in the screen. It tries to chase him when he tries to move, okay? He's got a magic camera on his machine that literally tracks him, okay? You might have one of those. Those are pretty cool too. AVL, super important, not something most people think about. Like screens, people don't think about the fact that I need to have presenter mode up, that I need to have my screens up, that I need to be able to see your faces, that I need to be able to see what my run of show is and what I'm supposed to say next, that I need to be able to see what kind of music I'm going to play next. This is my actual setup. I'll actually be moving in a few weeks here, so it will no longer be my setup. This was taken a few months ago, maybe a year ago. 3 screens is optimal, people. If you try to present on a MacBook, your presentation is going to suck. It's never been done. Not in a remote world, okay? It's never been done. And so it's really important. Get into a space that's quiet, that you're happy with, and that you can control the situation with. This is your control panel, and if you're not in control of it, then it's in control of you. Okay, so that's enough about event logistics. I don't see any questions in the chat. Let's talk about your presentation. I got some great questions about this in the office hours today. Some great questions. And it's really important that you follow the script that we've been giving you all along. What's the problem? Who is it a problem for? What does success look like? How are you going to measure it? And then what's the solution you've built? Of course, we all like to focus and obsess on the solution. We like to focus on the AI engineering. That's why we signed up for this class. We don't really care about all that dumb sales, product management stuff, but it's so important. It's that final layer that will allow people to take a look at what you've built and to really appreciate it. I've got a quick outline for you. It's as easy as this. Every single time we've presented to you throughout this cohort, we've given you problem, who's the audience, what success looks like, a couple KPIs, maybe just one, maybe it's qualitative, and we've showed you what the solution looks like. Now, Wiz obviously gets a lot of airtime on this thing. He gets a lot of demo time. But the demos we're talking about for demo day, they're not a lot of airtime. They're 2 to 4 minutes. And if you've ever seen Wiz do a demo, it's longer than 2 to 4 minutes. We don't want that kind of demo. We want a demo for people that are not engineers. And the infrastructure diagram is the kind of thing that you should be able to own. You should be able to walk through, and this is a teachable moment. You can teach everyone about all this cool infra that you've been able to build up. Little hot tip, do not have an infra slide that's just a bunch of stuff. Just help build it up block by block for me, okay? Just one piece at a time. Like break up the slide so that they all come together in the end. Now, beyond that, there's a couple things you want to think about to try to take it to the next level. You really want to tell a story. You really want to have a beginning, you want to have an end, and then you want to thus have a middle. But you really should think, like, if I can't write down what the beginning, middle, and end of my story is, I don't have a story. I just have a bunch of stuff in a pile. That's not good. In the same way, we don't want a bunch of just chunks in a pile. We want to align them with metadata. We want to be able to do that retrieval. We want to be able to understand why we're telling this story and in what way. The easiest way to do this is to introduce a character to me. That character is going to be your person who you're building for. Maybe it's a real person. Maybe you talked to them. Maybe you can get a quote from them. Maybe you can tell me about their situation. Show me a picture of their life. Use AI to generate it. Show me what their problem is and how amazing their world is going to look when you've solved their problem for them. Okay? This is towards a proper pitch deck. And this is the way, especially if you can get direct quotes, people will listen to you that are non-technical. Okay, also, don't put slides like this together because they're terrible and they're not good, okay? If you've ever noticed, my slides, they're very, very clean when it comes to writing. It's a big problem with engineers. Engineering professors as well as engineers in industry, okay? It's a big, big problem everywhere. Do not do slides like that. Take all of that crap, put it into the notes, and make sure that you have clean, beautiful slides, okay? In terms of slides, the most important thing is you have to have that beginning of your story written down. You have to be able to capture people's attention within the first 1 to 2 minutes. Everybody knows this, but somehow still nobody does it. And the number one way to lose their attention is to be like, oh, right? Immediately I'm done, okay? Immediately I'm not listening to you. Immediately I don't respect what you've done, and I haven't even seen your slides. Can you see my screen? Don't do any of that. That's AVL. Assuming you do that right, get your first slide right. Somebody just introduced you. They just said, hey, this is Raul Padua, okay? Don't say, hi, I'm Raul Padua. Yeah, we know. You just got introduced, okay? So there's very simple things that you can do that will make it quicker for you. Like, write a script. Every single time we do a YouTube event, we have a script. Every single time we do any big event, we have a script. You should have a script. If you can't write it, you don't know what you're going to say. And that's a bad place for people with not a ton of experience to be. Within the first couple of slides, make sure you know when you're transitioning to the next one, when you're transitioning to the next one. Practice, practice, practice. And of course, like, you know, a meme or a joke that just comes in real nice and people are like, ha ha ha, it lightens the mood a little bit. Use it, but strategically, okay? Strategically. There's some things I want to tell you about code real quick. The number one tip is to zoom in. Wiz, do you have any other tips on code real quick to give everybody?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the big ones are make sure you're too zoomed in. So it should be uncomfortable for you to read your screen. That's how zoomed in you should be. It's way more zoomed than you think you need to be. Otherwise, like, for your presentations, people aren't going to be there to watch you read through lines of code. And so just, you know, show them like the shape of things, show them technically what's happening, show them some architecture diagrams, but otherwise, like, don't spend too long actually showing, you know, def this, you know, that's not really the highlight. Like, obviously you coded, or else you wouldn't have an app. And so they don't need to see that you've coded unless there's something crucial or something extremely novel that's like incredibly value adding. I would actually show no code during the final presentation. I would just show architecture and just show application working, and whatever other oh my goodness, English. Whatever other you know cool things you've done to make the show happen.
Yeah, and what about speed, Wiz?
You should go really fast. No, I'm joking. You should spend enough time that they have uh, time for it to the message to sink in, especially with the demo, like demonstrating the thing, waiting for it to finish, allowing there to be a bit of time for them to digest what's happening on the screen, right? If you just go like, and here goes, and here goes, and here goes, and here goes, and then you're on to the next slide where no one's gonna understand what they just watched, right? So allow them a little bit of time to digest. It's gonna, again, just like it's gonna feel like you're too zoomed in. It's gonna feel like you're going too slow. That's totally fine. This is the 8,000th time you've seen this, and the first time they've seen this. And 10 minutes is a long time. Doesn't feel like that, but it is a long time. So the demo is a minute 30 because you let things sit for 10 seconds total, right? It's like, that's not a big deal. So just budget that time in, allow the whole stream to finish. It's not like in class where we go, and then this is the generation, okay, moving on to the next step, right? They don't have the benefit of a breakout room where they're going to go in and actually run the code themselves, right? They're seeing this. This is how they're interacting with it. And so just let them digest what cool thing you've built.
That's right. People complain to us all the time about we go too fast. We know it's easy to do. 7 out of 10. We got to aim at 7 out of 10, ideally. Okay, thanks, Wiz. Okay, so if your slides are too busy, you're clicking around everywhere. Remember, the demo gods do exist. They might come in. They might, crash a lightning bolt into your demo. Have a backup plan. Okay, don't be caught without a demo. Okay, so what about sharing? Well, it's your opportunity to start marketing. It's your opportunity to start selling. And you can sell your whole cohort right now. I know we do have this semi-final thing, and so it is going to be a little bit different to like sell your guaranteed spot versus like what we need to do now, which is kind of sell, come to demo day, support the cohort. But we hope that you're going to be willing to support everybody that works really hard and earns their way into this demo day finalist role. And certainly everybody who RSVPs will make sure that they're well aware of all of the post-processed videos that come up after demo day as well. And I did get asked earlier, well, what if I want to take this to the next level? And I'll just offer a couple of observations. This is baseline, okay? So this is like level 1. You want to go to like level 3, do all of these things too. Figure out how big is your market, figure out how you're going to capture that market, figure out how you're going to scale your infrastructure to serve that market, and build out the actual product. Level 2 is probably just building a single sign-on. I can log in with Google to your front end and feel like I'm using like a really cool product. That's like a really cool, easy-ish thing to do as a builder. But this idea, this isn't a sales class. This isn't a pitch class. This isn't a product management class. It kind of is, but it's not. We do have some people that are going to be great to talk to about stuff like this if you want, particularly David, I would mention, if you're into trying to figure out this kind of stuff. Raul is another great one to talk to, and also John is a great one to talk to. But if you want to be world-class level 3, this is the kind of stuff you need to think about. Also, I want to tell you a little bit about the last couple of closers that we've had. One in particular is John, who is a peer supporter now. He was the closer last time. John did a really excellent job, and John is actually from a family of legends. So like, take that with a grain of salt. He built a full product and like shipped and launched it for this. Talk to John more about that. That was pretty epic. And I believe there were maybe 60 or 70 people in the room when John presented in his final closer role. The same was true 50 or 60 people with Ashwin, who we don't know from this cohort, but he became a peer supporter in the next cohort. If you're seeing a pattern, it's real. He did not build an actual product, but it was a really great demo. We encourage you to check it out. And finally, from cohort 4, our closers were Akash and Joe. They met in the cohort, started a business, and that business is still running today. It's called Publicus.ai, and they did their first demo for our demo day. We're very proud of them, and we look forward to seeing their journey continue. So if you want to look at some really fantastic examples, those are 3 that I would highly recommend checking out. You can also ask your peer supporters. They all did demo day projects as well. What about final demo day judging? For those of you interested in this, we are going to ask judges to ask 1 to 2 questions. We're going to have a slightly extended QA period after you get your 10-minute demo, and we're going to ask them to judge you on practicality, on technical excellence, on presentation and demo quality, and on originality. This is a more comprehensive judging assessment than we will do in the semifinal round. We'll ask a very simple question there. Who did the best presentation? And that's what you'll have to answer. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about timing before we get into the rest of today. This is where we are. We're on August 14th. And so demo day is in 2 weeks from today, like literally right now. So if you're not doing your certification challenge project, you better figure out which project you're doing and get it going, probably by next week. And then really your code freeze needs to be no later than Sunday, so you can actually work on this curation of the storytelling that you're going to need to do by Tuesday. And don't forget too that on demo day, we will have graduation after, and it's a fun ceremony. We really highly encourage everybody participating directly or not in demo day. Come out, support everybody that does present live in demo day. And if you must, please join us for the graduation ceremony. It's the last time we come together as a cohort, and it really is a very meaningful experience for all of us. So we look forward to seeing everybody there.